Gwen has put out her second reaction video on her YouTube channel. Like she did in her first video, she answered several questions submitted by her Patreon subscribers. In this second reaction video and the subsequent Q&A, she did reference her relationship with her dad a couple times, and honestly, some of her answers really bummed me out. Let's get into today's video. Hey everyone, it's Sarah and welcome back to my channel. Happy 2023, everyone. I hope everybody has a great new year. I mentioned this in the last video I did about Gwen, but I have noticed that she is walking a very fine line in these reaction videos. She is taking great care with her commentary and the answers to questions. You can tell it's really thought out. I can't help but wonder how lovely it would be if Kody had the same conscientiousness before he spouts off at the mouth. In this video of Gwen's, and I will link her video in the description of this video, she reacts to season 17, episode 3, which was titled The Labors of Life. And in this episode, Mykelti gives birth to Avalon. Overall, it was an intense episode, and Gwen makes the comment that if and when she gets to the point of having kids, she is not going to film that for the show. I am loving her commentary and her reactions to the episodes, but I am not gonna lie, my favorite part is the Q&A that she inserts at the end, where she takes viewers' questions. One viewer asked Gwen if she ever noticed Kody belittling her mom.
Key Harrell says, growing up, did you notice Kody belittle, berate, or blame your mom a lot, or did he only do that behind the cameras? I was very young when the show started. I was only 8, so I didn't notice a lot of things, but I do know that my mom is very outspoken, so she's not very easy to belittle. If he had attempted, but I doubt that he would have. He's not the kind to just bully for no reason.
Off the bat, Gwen clarifies just how young she was when the show started. She was only 8 years old. She goes on to say that her mom really isn't the type of person to be belittled because she is very outspoken. She doesn't think that her dad would really try to belittle her mom, and then she says that her dad would never bully someone for no reason. This really bummed me out to hear. I'm going to be completely honest. My perception of Gwen is that she is a fierce, sassy, independent young woman, and she is incredibly brave for being willing to watch these episodes and give us a insider's commentary. She has referenced before, one example being Kody not going to Isabel's surgery, how sad it was that they all thought that that was normal. I'm not gonna lie, I have mixed emotions about knowing that some of the kids are watching the show now. On the one hand, my heart absolutely breaks at the thought of their view of their dad being shattered, even if that dad is Kody. At the same time, now that these kids are adults, I am glad that they are seeing what their mothers have had to go through for so many years. I think it's pretty obvious that the wives, especially Janelle and Christine, have worked incredibly hard over the years to protect their kids' image of their dad. Gwen knows that Christine is a strong woman who is not afraid to verbalize when she is frustrated or dissatisfied with something that Kody has done. But for as strong, fierce, and independent as Gwen clearly is, it is also pretty clear to me that the years of the conditioning that these kids have gone through will take a long time to undo. When she says Kody would never bully someone for no reason, that really broke my heart to hear. Gwen is not shy about standing up for what she believes is right. We see that on her social media. It's an admirable trait that she obviously got from her mother. But even with such a strong moral compass, it is incredibly difficult for her to call out her other parent, her father, for his abhorrent behavior. Gwen then goes on to take another viewer question, where the question was if watching the show has impacted her relationship with her dad.
Nadine Teet asks, does hearing everything your dad is saying about your mom impact your relationship with your dad? Yes. It's very flip-floppy for me because in person, my dad's sweet to me now. We had our differences in the past, but we're getting better, and since we're not around each other as much, we can't really be angry with each other as much. But when I watch the episodes, I do tend to dislike him a little bit, and I just have to remind myself that he's going through a difficult time, and this is hard on everybody, and he's still my dad, and he's still kind to me.
Without hesitation, Gwen says that yes, it has. She says that watching the show is very flip-floppy for her, and I think she is referencing another time she answered a viewer's question where she said that when she's watching the show and reacting, when it's her dad speaking, she finds herself agreeing with her dad. And then when it's her mom speaking, she finds herself agreeing with her mom. So she kind of flip-flops, so to speak. She goes on to say that in person, her dad is sweet to her now. And my initial reaction to that was, now? The cynic in me immediately was like, well, Kody is obviously running some sort of PR damage control campaign with his own kids. Like, he's sweet now? What was he like before in person? She then goes on to say that their relationship now is improving because they're not around each other as much. And honestly, I think that that answer is probably extremely relatable for a lot of young adults. I think young adults tend to need to experience spreading their wings and becoming independent. And then if there is a contentious aspect of their relationship with their parents, it tends to improve once, the two are no longer living under the same roof, if you will. She says that when she watches the show, she tends to dislike her dad, but then she reminds herself that he is going through a difficult time. She goes on to clarify that Kody is still her dad and he is still kind to her. I think that there is a lot to unpack with those statements, but I think that the key thing that I, as a viewer, need to keep in mind is when Gwen said that Kody is still her dad. I can have all the opinions about Kody and the treatment of his family members, but in reality, I don't know Kody. I am not Kody's family member. I've never met him, and I am watching Kody's behavior with no emotional attachment or history there whatsoever. Like I said earlier in this video, I greatly appreciate the fact that Gwen is willing to share her perspective of growing up in this family. And she is sharing what it really feels like for her watching these episodes. And I can only imagine that it has to be uncomfortable at times, for sure. One thing that really is interesting to me is that Gwen has been pretty open about the fact that she does not get along with her brother Peyton. She does not intend to have any kind of relationship with him in the future, and that is just based off of things that have happened in the past. On the show, and I can only imagine that on the show is just a fraction of what occurs in real life, Kody has been incredibly abusive towards his wives and kids. From emotional and financial neglect to manipulation to narcissism, we could go on and on. But Gwen does not seem to be in a place where she is willing to write Kody off completely, and that's understandable. This is just something I noticed, and I don't know what Gwen's reasonings are, and maybe she'll open up about what she considers the differences between her father and her brother in a future episode. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at realiteasquad, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a good one. Much love.